Old Charger action. Got the suspension down on this side yesterday. Upper control arms, lower control arms, ball joints, brakes, all that good stuff. Waiting for the lower ball joint on this side. And we'll get that put back together. Had to replace these control arms. You got to buy those in pairs now because they changed the geometry of the control arm. So yeah, pass that right on to the customer. You can only buy the control arms in pairs. Here's the tie rod that was bent. Changed that. Here's the driver's side control arm. Really not a whole lot wrong with that. The ball joint had a little bit of play in it. The brake pads were bad. Just giving them a little bit of brake shutter on high speeds. Put a new rod end on because I replaced the tie rod. And here's the bad one right here. Here's the upper off the passenger side. This is as close to having a failure as you want to get to with the ball joint. Let me see, there's a little magic spot here where this just falls right out of here. But anyway, this guy was driving on the same roads that I cruised on a couple days ago. And I only talked him into fixing this. He's giving this car to his mom, so we went over the front end and stuff. He's had a steering issue for a while. And that's pretty bad. That's not much of a ball joint for a 4,000 plus pound car. But that's what they've got in there. So this morning we're making some oil up. Some people have asked what I use for motor oil, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. I've been experimenting on the motor oil lately, and with cylinder head temperature, oil pressure, oil temperature, all that good stuff. And I found something pretty interesting with the motor oil. Shut this door here. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a mechanic on planes. He does Lycoming engines, a lot of air-cooled plane motors over in the airport. And we were talking about cam failure and zinc and oil and stuff like that. And he said, you've never heard of a camshaft wiping out in a plane engine. You know, planes don't usually fall out of the sky because of oil problems. So being that it's an air-cooled motor, much like a Volkswagen engine, I sort of listened to what he was saying. And I've been running this oil now for 6,000 miles. This will be the third oil change with it. And this is what I'm using the Aeroshell 100. It's a straight 50 weight. This has all the pressure additives for flat tappet cams, everything that used to be in the oil. If you use this oil, you don't have to put any kind of additives in your oil at all. I do blend this with a little thinner oil, 2 quarts of this, 1 quart of 2050. And I've been using the Quaker State. I know Quaker State don't have the best name in the world, but I haven't seen any problems from it. And it has the added zinc. Says so right on the label. So that's why I choose that oil. And it was under the recommendation of this air-cooled plane mechanic. And the motors operate in very similar situations, temperature-wise, and the construction of the motors are very similar. So since I've been using this oil, I've noticed my cylinder head temperature's gone down quite a bit. And the one big thing that I've noticed from this oil is I have no oil consumption. My consumption stopped, and I had a little bit of a leak at the pulley. It would want to blow oil out of there. If I ran the car real hard, it would seep behind the pulley. Now, I contributed that to the pulley being aftermarket. A lot of times on the aftermarket pulleys, the grooves aren't quite as deep, and the grooves are cut backwards. So when the oil falls in that, it slings the oil back towards the crankshaft. Then a lot of times on the aftermarket pulleys, these grooves, so you guys know what I'm talking about, these grooves right here are not as deep, so they don't catch the oil and throw it back. That's the idea behind those. The oil drips on this and it slings it back towards the motor. So I contributed my leak towards my aftermarket pulley there, and just was dealing with it. I was going to change it back to a stock one because the stock ones are pretty deep grooves, and they work out pretty good. This is the other oil that I'm using, and you can see right here it says it has zinc added for extra protection. I like that kind. And I just do 1 quart of this, 2 quarts of the Aeroshell, shake it up, and actually I do 3 to, I'll put 1 more quart of oil shell, so I do 4 quarts, 1 quart of the Quaker State with the zinc, and 3 quarts of the Aeroshell. Shake that up and it's ready to go. Probably have to thin this out a little more in the winter blends. I know it's getting cold in a lot of places, but when I worked on the race team, we always used the single weight oil. We never used the multi-viscosity oil. Usually if you beat on the oil real hard, it seems to want to go to the thin side of the scale there. So anyway, that's our oil for our bug. Did a valve adjustment this morning, and we'll do an oil change this afternoon. Put 3,000 miles on my car in 2 weeks. So I've been driving the crap out of that thing. Actually, it's still at 3 weeks. That's still 1,000 miles a week, which is crazy. But anyway, the speedometer don't lie, so it's time to service it again. We'll change the oil. I'm going to change the tranny fluid, gear lube this time. And the valve adjustment was really good this morning still. I've been setting it on the tight side. I've got them set down to about 3. And basically just make sure the push rod still turns, and I'm happy with that. So it's cut down quite a bit on my valve train noise. I went to the chrome moly push rods last time I freshened the motor up, and they're a little bit noisier. So I tightened the valve lash, and it seemed to improve my power a little bit, and I have a lot less valve train clatter. So I like it to be sort of quiet. I don't like the rattling, but that's what's going on here. Hoping to get some parts this morning, that ball joint, so I can get that pressed in and be done with that car. And I got the rod and the piston installed in the wagon out there. I got to get the pan on here. I got the pan all cleaned up yesterday, looking real nice inside. And here's my spindle assembly, and I'm waiting for my ball joint for. Got it pressed out last night and waiting on the new one. So that's what's happening here. Not a whole lot, just trying to get some stuff done. Andrea's birthday this weekend, not weekend, falls during a week. Some cats out here. Anybody needs a cat, I got plenty of them. Let me know. This one's really friendly, a couple stripers and a lot of black and white ones. So yeah, I think Oscar came over here and got my cat. There's the other striper there. Anyway, we'll go ahead and let you guys go. Got the transmission under the Titan there. Gonna try to do that again today. Got the transmission jack under there, and got a converter issue. Put that thing in 3 times and the converter gets tight. So I got a clearance issue between the flywheel and the converter. Don't know if the converter is going all the way into the transmission, or if I just got too much paint. The converter got painted when it got rebuilt, and the little bushing in the back of the crank is pretty tight, not letting the converter turn real freely. So I'm gonna clean some of that paint off, clean the pads up, try to do that again today. I don't know, I got pretty aggravated with it the other day. Ended up falling off the jack, falling on me, and smashed my bad arm. So yeah, I'm dealing with that. And I think the tranny jack might be a little safer route there. So ended up losing one of my jacks last week. Had the pump go out on it. So that's what's going on with that. Let me go over here and turn the pool on. My pool timer went bad last week, so I have to manually turn the pool on. Had the phosphate issue again because of all the rain. And I got to try the baking soda, like Don said. Big Paul 64 told me that you can put baking soda in your pool and it will control the phosphates. I asked my pool guy about that, and he said no, don't do that. And he keeps selling me the phosphate remover for $70 a bottle. So put another bottle of that in yesterday. That's why it's all white like that. And we'll let that filter run for a little while, and then come over here and vacuum it and clean the filter. And I'll have a bunch of white stuff all over the filter. That's the phosphates. Turns the pool sort of cloudy like that when you pour the phosphate killer in. And hopefully we'll get it cleared up for the weekend. That's the goal. So, what's going on? All right, guys, let me go ahead and shut this down. I'll talk to you guys a little later. I got 2 videos now I need to upload, so I'll get busy on that. You guys try to make it a great day. Pretty nice day today. I grabbed the camera and go for a little ride this morning.